A sound like thunder and rain echoed through the folding of moonlight and shadows. Huddled against cold, damp stone, I carefully laid one hand on the hilt of my sword. The sound boomed again, loud, but somehow muffled, too. Slowly it stopped echoing, and I realized that it was just footsteps. I unsheathed the sword, though I didn't see how it would be much help in the realm of sleep. Drifting from the dark hallway from where the footsteps came, fog clouded around me, making my view of the misty cave even worse. As it swirled harder and harder, pushed by some sort of non existent wind, I wrapped one arm around a stalagmite that was 10 times taller than I was, and yet was barely 20 feet from the ceiling of the huge cavern. Slowly, the wind receded. The mist twisted towards the center of the ground like water going down a drain. Took you long enough, said a thrumming voice so like the falling of rain, the rushing of a river, the howling of wind, and the grinding of stones all at once, that I almost didn't notice how annoyed it sounded. I stared at the blurry shapes still forming in the middle of the cave. What are you? I said in a whisper. I hadn't expected the whatever they were to hear me, but they replied in their thrumming, vibrating voice, still sounding irritated. That's not important. What's important is that I had to find you, and the rebellion now owes me a large favor. The foggy shape solidified somewhat into a small, animal-like body with pointed ears, agile limbs, knowing liquid-like eyes, and a long tail. I stared. "You're a cat?" I demanded. "No, I am not," said the misty creature impatiently. "I was sent by the rebellion to meet you here and guide you to the one who never wakes. The count had warned me that my guide might be a little strange." The creature stalked forward regally, shoulder blades rising and falling and tail swishing, stepping over sharp stones with delicate paws that were never quite solid. The creature sat down at my feet, staring disapprovingly at me. "We should go. The person who lives here does not take kindly to visitors." I backed up the half an inch I could against the wall. "I don't even know who you are," I protested, "or what you are." The misty cat lifted their chin. "My name is Mistral. The nature of my existence is none of your business. Now get going. If you and I don't complete this task, the rebellion is never going to leave us alone."
Wow. So it starts with this sound like thunder. And and first you describe the setting, which really gets the reader interested right away. And then we get to the creature, and um, the the character who's from the perspective of asks, "What are you?" But the creature refuses to say that. And then I like the line later, "The nature of my existence is none of your business." And this creature seems to look like a cat. So I really like how it seems ordinary, and yet it can talk, and it acts like a human. And I also like the dynamic that this cat-like creature is acting superior to the human, acting annoyed with the human. And so I really liked that dynamic, and I'm really intrigued. I'd love to see what happens next.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really great. I just want to call out one little detail. I really like this detail where the shoulder blades were rising and falling
I
as the
just noticed how I know because I have cats, and I noticed that when they're like stalking prey, especially when they're skinnier, you can kind of see their shoulder blades moving while they walk.
yeah, and that's really good. I don't know if we're going to get. I'm still working out what my last two talks are going to be about, but I did work out. I am excited about next week. I've worked that out, and I might get back to nature writing. But it's always good, right, to study if you're going to be basing a creature on a creature. The more you can study the animal's natural movements, then the more really realistic and engaging you can make it. So yeah, that little bit of detail, but really Peri said it all, so I'm not going to say anything else. Thank you.
Thank you.